At the start of the fight, Maguu Kenki will be invulnerable for about 10 seconds, so make sure not to waste any bursts during this time. Your skills will still generate energy particles, so feel free to use those if you need to refill on energy. The hardest part about fighting Maguu Kenki for most players is that his attacks deal so much damage. Fortunately, most of his hard-hitting attacks have a long wind-up, such as this one, so it's at least easy to predict when these attacks are coming. It is possible to dodge these attacks by dashing right before they connect, but getting the timing right can be tough for players who are new to this fight. The approach that I recommend instead is to use your character's bursts to iframe these attacks. In case you didn't know already, your character's burst animations grant invincibility frames, or iframes for short. This means that you won't take any damage while using your character's bursts, which we can take advantage of as a great defensive utility. Keeping this in mind, the way I'll approach this fight is to dodge whatever attacks I feel comfortable dodging, and if I see a move that I'm not confident that I can dodge consistently, then I'll use one of my character's bursts instead. You might realize this already, but for this strategy to work, we need to be able to recharge our character's bursts quickly and consistently. Notice how my Amber's burst is already fully charged by the time I need to iframe another attack. To help recharge my team's burst quickly, I use energy-centric builds with things like Favonius weapons, the Exile artifact set, and ER Sands pieces. Characters like Fischl and Raiden are also great options to include in your team if you want to generate a lot of energy. When Maguu Kenki reaches about 70% HP, he'll switch to a dual-wielding stance, generating a Cryo Sword to use alongside his Anemo Sword. Then he charges up a strong explosion attack while also becoming invulnerable for the duration. Just like how I've been dealing with all the other strong attacks, I use a burst to iframe the damage from this one as well. After this big explosion, we're officially in the second phase of this fight, where the pace really starts to pick up and a lot of players struggle. Maguu Kenki's attacks are enhanced with an after image of himself, and he may also dash in between attacks like we see here. One option to deal with his mobility is to use a ranged damage dealer, such as Amber, Ganyu, or Yoimiya. Another character that I really like to use here is Rosaria, because her skill allows you to chase him down quickly whenever he dashes away. Even though the boss is stronger in the second phase, we still stick with the same strategy and use our bursts to iframe his attacks. I also continue to rotate through my skills whenever I can to generate energy particles consistently. Alternatively, if you have a strong shielder like Zhongli, you can simply tank most of the attacks. Diona is a great option here, since her shield is 2.5 times as effective against cryo damage, which applies to most of Maguu Kenki's attacks. Beidou is another good option for both shielding and countering with some good damage, but only if you're comfortable with timing her counters. Putting all of these tips together, we now have a pretty good idea of how to deal with this boss. We can use a combination of shields and bursts to avoid damage from his stronger attacks. And we use a ranged damage dealer or a character with good mobility to chase him down when he tries to run away. Hopefully with these tips and a little bit of practice, you can also defeat Maguu Kenki without much trouble. I wish you good luck with descending whichever character you're farming for, and as always, thank you so much for watching.